If we can walk in as hot as we are, then I think that we can take this game or take this series in 3. Hello, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle, and today we're going to be breaking down the playoff picture between Blue Jays versus Rays. Who's going to win the series? What are the matchups looking like? What are the pitchers looking like? What are the lineups looking like? We want to break down everything and get you all the information you need before the game starts this Tuesday.
This is a meaty matchup. Before we get into it, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Wow, okay, so these guys have been a thorn in our ass.
They've been a thorn in our ass forever.
Exactly, that's what I was saying, man. Like, they have been around, they have been a problem. And it seems like for as long as at least I've been a fan of baseball, like they have just bred elite pitching.
The Tampa Bay Rays?
Yeah. For something about their system, their coaching, maybe it's in the water, you know?
Who knows?
But
down there in Florida,
they have elite pitching, and this group is no different than that, man. Like, you want to break down some of the guys that we're going to be seeing?
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing, we've known for days now who they were going to play in Game 1, 2, and 3. Game 1, they have Blake Snell. Game 2, they have Tyler Glasnow. And in Game 3, they have Charlie Morton. So definitely nothing easy. However, they're guys, they're like any other pitcher. They can be beaten. And there's different ways that we could beat them.
Absolutely, yeah. And they are good though.
Yeah,
they are good.
You have their season stats right here.
Well, I got a couple of them. Yeah, I was looking specifically at Snell and Glasnow. Because we don't know for sure. Hopefully, we don't even need to get to Charlie Morton, assuming that we could win the first 2 games. But Snell has done. He's done Blake Snell stuff this year, basically. He's been rocking a 3.24 ERA. His whip is at 1.2. He's got a K rate of 31%. That's, well above MLB average. One thing that I noticed about him, too, like, he's always been, around league average as far as launch angle from players' bats, like, coming off of, his pitches. But this year, man, he has, really cut that in half, basically, and his launch angle is 6.6 degrees. Now, that's around what Vladdy Guerrero does, and we harp on him about it all the time.
Snell's creating Vladdy Guerrero launch angles.
Exactly. So, he's getting a lot of ground balls and getting out of stuff, and his expected batting average is 232 right now. Yeah. So, across the board, he's been doing really, really well.
Yeah, and part of the reason why he's doing so well is his ability to use his pitches and get batters out. So he throws his four-seam fastball 50% of the time,
which
averages 95 miles per hour.
Fast. It's fast.
But this is the pitch. He also throws a changeup 20% of the time at 88, so that's a drop of 7 miles per hour. That's pretty good. But this is the pitch that I told you about before, and that shocks me. It's a slider. He throws it 15% of the time, 87 miles per hour. What shocks me about it is the batting average on a slider is 0.33. So I think he's had 1 hit all year off of his slider.
Now, granted, it's been a shortened season, and I looked at it, and that's on 31, basically pitches.
Yeah.
So he's gotten 1 hit. It was a single off 31 pitches. Who knows what that would have been had, the pitches gone, over the course of the whole season. However, it is clear that, it is putting people away right now. And I was looking at his whiff rate on it, and it's pretty bloody high, man.
Yeah, he likes to use it against the lefties because he's a left-handed pitcher. So, our Biggio and Travis Shaw are going to have to make an adjustment and not chasing that pitch. It's kind of hard, though, because that pitch looking out of the hand looks like a fastball. The spin is so fast, you can't see the seams. It looks like a fastball coming over the heart of the plate, and then it'll just dive right into the bottom left corner.
Well, my worry about a guy like Blake Snell, and then also a guy like Tyler Glasnow, Tyler Glasnow's average fastball is 97. Mm-hmm. Blake Snell is 95. Now, I was trying to find statistics on, what our team has done for fastballs over 95 miles per hour, and I was having a hard time doing it, but I can specifically remember, Buck tossing it out there and being like, we have struggled immensely on fast fastballs. Yeah. And our team is primarily, we're really good at hitting the off-speed stuff. Now, what's kind of shit for us here is that these guys are really good at throwing the off-speed stuff.
But that's the problem, though. We have to make a choice, and we can't be in between. Because, yes, we are good at hitting the off-speed stuff. Mm-hmm. However, Blake Snell's fastball batting average against is .326. So players actually can hit his fastball when he'll challenge batters. Now, because he could throw it right over the heart of zone and it's 95 plus, do we swing at those ones and lock ourselves in? Yes, we're going to attack the fastball early, because I certainly don't want to be facing his slider, and that's for sure. Yeah. As well as his curveball, which is also a batting average of 132. However, his changeup is a 259, and he also throws it primarily to right-handed hitters. So that's something that the right-handers can look for. And I think the lefty's got to stick with that fastball.
I think we're gonna know after the first go through of the lineup. I think that their game plan in my mind should be come in looking for the fastball, because he does throw it 50% of the time. Yeah. See how that's working. And if he starts adjusting to you and tossing more of his off-speed stuff, then, in your next at-bat, maybe change your approach. Yeah. And that's going to be an in-game sort of alteration. We're going to have to see what is going on. One thing I'd like to note about Blake Snell is that he's actually, and this was kind of shocked me, he's never actually had an outing this whole season of going 6 innings.
Wow. Yeah. So they really kind of kept him on short rest.
His maximum inning count was 5.1. Now, granted, he did come into the year injured. Yeah. So, I remember, the first month or month and a half or so, they were kind of working him, 2 innings, 3 innings, 3.5 innings, stuff like that. And he's worked his way now to, 5, regularly getting 5 innings, 5.1 innings. I think that's good for us. The fact that, he hasn't done a full, 6 innings, 7 innings. I do, however, think that they're going to give him, they're going to unleash him now.
Yeah, I think they're not going to hold him to 5 innings. Yeah. They're going to let him go.
If he is pitching well, then there is no question to me that he could, work his way into 7 innings, perhaps.
Yeah. That's going to be a tough game 1 against Blake Snell, especially now that we have.
Yeah, we're pitching Matt Shoemaker.
We're pitching Matt Shoemaker.
I don't understand this decision. I actually and I've been trying my best to wrap my head around it. I don't. The negatives to me far outweigh the positives.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And today when I see that. When I saw that Matt Shoemaker was announced for Game 1, I was trying to find some sort of but here's a thing that could be good, and maybe this is the reason why, because it just doesn't make sense. Yeah. Shoemaker's batting average against facing the Rays is 192. So I mean that's a thing. Yeah. And he's handled the lineup pretty well. Handled the Tampa Bay Rays, but other than that, he's coming off an injury and. Hello, it's game 1 of the wildcard series. Why aren't we pitching our number 1 or number 2 right now?
That's the thing, man. He had 1 start in September for 3 innings. Yeah. He's pitched 3 innings in the month of September. That, to me, to now be putting a guy who, even though, he had 3 starts against the Rays, 1 very good one, 1 average one, and 1 not so great one, but also not a blow-up either. Yeah. And his ERA this year has been 4.71, so not that great either. And he's coming off this injury and hasn't, been in the swing of things. I don't see the argument here for putting this guy out here. And
that's my only argument is that, because Montoya said again and again he's a stats guy, and they look at the stats and the numbers.
Well,
and it's
we just heard from Montoya that his argument for this is we gotta be creative. Yeah, that's the word he said. He must have said that word maybe 5 or 6 times. He's well, we gotta be creative. And then the guy was because the initial question was, well, why are you doing this? Well, why are you pitching your ace?
Yeah.
And then he goes, we got to be creative. And then he's like, do you think maybe you're overthinking this a little bit?
Yeah, literally.
Statistically, it's been proven it's better to pitch your ace. And he's like, no, we got to be creative. It's like okay, what is the reasoning?
Yeah, no one's being creative. Like, you could, I'll put freaking Stripling. I'll put Roark in there to start game one. That's pretty creative because no one's thought of it before.
Yeah.
Like, is that what are you talking about? I wish that Montoya would explain better his decision making. Like, actually say, well, we're doing this because X, Y, Z. Because I literally have no idea.
Well, and that is the thing to me, is like, he sounds so much like a politician up there sometimes, and like that's the vibes that I got right there, man. Is like full politician. There's a commercial that Adam and I harp on all the time, and it's like, we trust this brand, and they don't actually say why they trust the brand. And that's what I'm getting from Charlie Montoya right now. If you could give me a legitimate argument, and you say this is why. This is the reasoning. Here are the numbers to back it up. Okay, you know what? At least you have a reasoning, and I can respect that.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't see any logical reason, and that's, I think, why I'm frustrated at this decision.
Now, he did give a reasoning for why Ryu is pitching Game 2 against Tyler Glasnow. It's because Ryu was forced to pitch on Thursday to try and clinch the postseason, and he needed an extra day of rest. Now, and Ryu has actually pitched better statistically on an extra day of rest. So I'm like, okay, that's a reason. I'll take it.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
And you know what? As much as I would like to see, our ace taking the mound in Game 1, leading us out there, I can understand that,
Yeah.
And his ERA does drop by about, half a point when he does get that extra day's rest.
Yeah.
So, that's good. We could probably steal that game from Tyler Glasnow now.
Yeah.
But the reasoning behind pitching Shoemaker instead of Taijuan Walker...
No, that makes no sense.
Now, that, to me, I don't understand. Because Taijuan Walker, not only has he, been very solid for us since we acquired him, he's warmed up. He's not been injured. He's ready to go, and I think as of right now, he is 100% our number 2.
Yeah, and I would actually hate it if we get swept in 2 games and we didn't pitch Taijuan Walker, who we traded for at the deadline. We traded for him to pitch in the postseason, and we're not even doing that. Maybe we might not even be doing that. He's definitely pitching Game 3, thankfully. I swear to God, if they put like Roark. They're like, oh, we're being creative. No, I'd be pissed. No. But you know what? It is what it is, and we have to take it. Snell versus Shoemaker. If we can somehow win that game, we will. We should win the series.
Yeah, I do think that that has got to be. And it seems like a big risk. It's like a high risk, high reward thing. It's like I do like the matchup of Ryu on Glasnow. Like, I think that coming into that, we're probably looking like the favorites here. But when you look at the matchup of Blake Snell against Matt Shoemaker, like, I would say that we are kind of the severe underdog in this. I do want to speak about our lineup a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Because, even though Snell is super hard, our lineup's been doing really well. And even though the Tampa Bay Rays, over their last 10, are 8-2, over our last 7, we're 6-1.
Yeah.
So
we're super hot.
We're super hot right now, and our guys are looking good, man. Do you have some of their?
Oh yeah, our last 7 games I looked at for some of our main pieces of our batting order. Biggio's hitting 269. That's good for Biggio. Then we got some big numbers here. We got Pichette at 300, Grichuk hitting 385, Guerrero hitting 444, Gurriel hitting 357. Kirk hitting 412. Wow. Shaw's even hitting 300.
Nice.
And the one little downside, one of our best hitters all year, Hernandez, is hitting 207. But you know what? If everyone else can make up for it, that would be great.
Exactly. It's like you need to be winning baseball games. I find like you got to have like at least 4 guys popping off right now.
We got a bunch.
And we have more than 4 guys. So that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You were also saying to me before this video that their guys are pretty bloody cold.
They're very cold, and I can't even pronounce like half their names because I don't even know who they are.
I know the first guy is
Tsutsugo. So he's hitting 167. This is all last 7. 167 hitting is for Tsutsugo. Brandon Lau is hitting 238, so that's pretty bad for Brandon Lau.
Yeah.
And then Arozarena. Hitting, he's the one guy's actually doing decent, hitting 286. Now, Nate Lau's hitting 143. Kiermaier is hitting 095. Brasso is hitting 211. And Adames is hitting 222. The one guy in their lineup that is doing very well right now, and that's Joey Wendell hitting 423.
Yeah, so Joey Wendell is hot as hell, but everyone else is doing pretty cold.
Yeah, so this is the time. This is the time in a 3-game series to try and win it.
Yeah. I would say, too, it's like their lineup to me, like, they don't have any star power, They don't have any names on there where I'm like, oh my God, like, watch out, like, it's Juan Soto, it's Acuna Jr., it's like, no, like all of these guys are, I don't mean to be rude here, but like average guys that are on, playing on a great team.
See, and that's the thing is like the water, man. Like we're saying, the water in Florida turns these guys into good guys. Like,
well, and it's weird, man. It's like they don't have a single batter that's hitting over 300 this year in their lineup.
Yeah, no,
not a single one.
No.
And I was looking at some of our over the course of 2020, our statistics to theirs offensively.
Yeah, let's see.
Like their average is 238 as a team. That's below average. That's pretty low. Yeah. Ours is 255. That's a little bit above average, decently good for us. Their on-base percentage is 3 points higher than ours at 328. Ours is 325.
That's
this is all team stats, by the way, guys. Slugging, we're doing a bit better than them. We're at 441. They're at 425. OPS, they're at 753. We're at 766. One thing, however, that I did think was really interesting is that the Tampa Bay Rays actually lead the league right now. Well, I guess right now. They will forever have led the league because it's over now. In strikeouts.
Batter strikeouts.
Yeah, batter strikeouts. They had 608 to our 508.
Wow.
And they were well in first place as far as striking out goes. So they do K quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that has to be, I think if we do pitch Shoemaker, then we have to get in a guy like Robbie Ray, who is very good with striking people out, because it's clear that they're susceptible to the strikeouts.
Absolutely. We got to be able to, get the strikeouts when we can. And I think what I was just thinking is like one of the keys to winning the series, I believe, from the Blue Jays, we have to, because we're going to be facing good pitching. You're not going to get out of that. We're going to be facing good pitching all season long. We got to be able to rely on our power that we've displayed, and we got to be able to get timely home runs. Like when they make a mistake, we have to capitalize. Because I can believe in the games have all been for Tampa Bay Rays. We're not going to see blow up games like against the New York Yankees or Baltimore or Boston, Philly. We're not going to see those games. We're going to get tight, close games, and the difference makers could be one swing of a bat on either side.
Agreed. No, I think that we're going to need to capitalize when we have runners in scoring position. That has to be it, because we're not going to get that many chances, I don't think. Glasnow and Snell, they don't walk a lot of guys. No. They don't give up a lot of hits.
Glasnow strikes out a crap load of guys.
Glasnow has a 38.2% strikeout rate, one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
Also, just before we pivot from this batting stats, one thing I do want to note, I also looked at our stats when we're home and when we're away. And it is too bad that we're away, because at Buffalo we did phenomenal. Away we hit 239. That's not ideal. However, and this is kind of strange, the Tampa Bay Rays have done better away than they did at their own home ballpark, and they were hitting 228 at their own home ballpark.
Oh, okay. I'll still take that.
So, if you're thinking about 228 to 238, there's not going to be a lot of hits going down, especially with this pitching.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be a pitching battle.
I could definitely see this coming down to, a home run.
Yeah, literally.
Like a singular, Vladdy Guerrero dinger, and, we can win the game off of that.
2-3. We're going to see, 4-5. That's going to be the score, max 1-0.
What do you think, for this first Shoemaker game?
Yeah.
How many innings are we giving this guy?
5. I'd say he goes 5 innings.
Do you think that we go, Robbie Ray post that? And here's the thing, man, is, he hasn't pitched 5 innings in, a month and a half.
Yeah.
2 months.
But I also think it is playoff time, and they're going to stretch him. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try and stretch him. If he's pitching well, he's going to go 5 innings. If not, he goes 4. And then I would like to see a Robbie Ray coming in, because we're not going to pitch Walker. And I don't want to pitch no extended middle guys, long relief guys that are garbage to get us their innings like we've done all regular season. It's time to pitch our best pitchers. I'd like to see a Ray in that inning to give him extension, because Ryu tomorrow or the day after should be able to give us 6-7. So put Ray in there and then have our good bullpens, Dolis and Bass, in the last part.
Yeah, and I mean, I think ideally for me, I would probably get 4 out of Shoemaker, and then maybe even 4 out of Ray, and then a closer.
Yeah.
Although, we're talking a lot about Robbie Ray. His numbers haven't been great this year either. He's got an ERA of 6.2 or 6.62.
Oh, good.
He's had a couple starts where he's just gotten, blown up. His walk rate is 17.9%, really, really bad. His whip is 1.9. We are rolling the dice on this first start.
Ray is literally all right, if you roll over 4 and over, it's going to be right there on the money, but 3 and under, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know. He is one of those guys, and it's really interesting. It's if he's not striking you out, then he's probably walking you or giving you up a hit. He doesn't really get a lot of outs otherwise.
No.
A lot of his outs are from the strikeouts, and when it's not, it's probably a hit.
Yeah. So what do you think then?
Are we gonna win?
Yeah. What's our predicts? Okay, so game 1. I'm predicting we're probably gonna lose. I really hope not, but I say if we're gonna lose a game, it's gonna be game 1.
Yeah.
And then
because here's the thing, man. It's we are the underdog, I guess.
Yeah.
But these guys are very beatable,
Yeah,
I'm genuinely not that worried about their batting lineup.
No.
It's more the pitching ineptitude from our guys that scares me.
Seriously.
So it's I'm not so worried about their bats. I think that we could lose game 1. And then we could win the next 2. I think that we can take down Glasnow. And Charlie Morton, even though his name is Charlie Morton, and, he's, done a lot of postseason pitching before and is obviously very, very good, has struggled this year. His ERA is above 5.
Yeah.
Walker, I think, can easily go toe-to-toe with that guy.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come down to the bats. If we can walk in as hot as we are, then I think that we can take this game or take this series in 3.
Yeah, I was about to say Jays in 3, I'm saying. Jays in 3. They're so beatable. Glasnow, hit the fastball. Snell, hit the fastball. And Morton, what was my keys then? Attack his sinker. His sinker is batting average of 342. So stick with your game plan, hitters. Hitters, you're going to do great. Pitchers, your key to success is live on the edges and stay long throughout the game. Keep your pitch count low. I don't want to see us getting into the ugly parts of our pitching staff.
No.
That's when
we cannot afford to be getting into the ugly parts of our pitching staff. And, it's going to be coming down to... We're going to know, I think, in the first inning how many innings Shoemaker is going to get.
Yeah.
If he's up to about 20 pitches, then I think that they could pull him, very soon.
4 max.
4 max.
Yeah.
I could even see a 3 out of him depending on his command.
Yeah.
So ideal lineup for you.
For the Blue Jays?
Yeah, ideal lineup. Because I know Charlie Montoya has been screwing around and doing stuff that we don't like sometimes.
I think for right now, based on how hot we've been, I'd go Kevin Biggio, Bo Bichette. And honestly, right now, I'd throw Guerrero third. With how hot he's been swinging it and Hernandez slumping. Then I'd go Hernandez, Grichuk. Then who do we have after that? Oh, actually,
Gurriel.
My God. Okay, so I'll go Biggio, Bichette. I would ideally, but he's not going to do this. He's not going to do this at all.
This is us. Like, you're going. I think I would.
I'll go Biggio, Bichette, Gurriel, Guerrero, Hernandez, Grichuk, and then the last 7, 8, 9 could be whoever's catching, Kirk, and VR, whoever's going to be in that game for defensive stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you throughout that first 6, and then I would probably have it be, because when we're doing Ryu and stuff, we're probably going to get in. Is Kirk catching game 1?
He's DHing game 1. Okay. Oh no, because he was supposed to. It was game 2. Yeah. Kirk is going to be DHing, but he might be catching Shoemaker
in game 1.
Yeah, and then DHing in game 2, and then he'd probably be catching Taijuan Walker.
If he is catching in game 1, then I would like to have Jonathan Davis in there at that 9 spot and have VR. So it's you go Kirk, VR, Jonathan Davis.
Yeah.
And then the 6 that you said. That would be my ideal lineup. Davis is nice right now in the. I think he made a good. Outfield
he's good
play.
Defensively.
Yeah, and he's fast, man. It's get that guy in that 9 spot and turn over the lineup. Absolutely.
I think what it's probably going to be is Biggio, Bichette, Hernandez, Grichuk, Guerrero, Shaw, and then the last 3.
Well, Gurriel.
Oh, Gurriel. Sorry, yeah, Gurriel, then Shaw, then the other 2.
Yeah. You
probably going to be it.
I mean, I really don't want to see any stupidity of Travis Shaw in the 3 spot. Or, we've already been stupid enough by pitching Matt Shoemaker.
Yeah.
We don't need any more dumbness.
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm excited, nervous. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
it's going to be crazy.
The good thing too is, and a lot of people are saying this, and I agree with them. We have overexceeded our expectations.
Yeah.
We finished the season at 32 and 28.
Yeah.
What did you predict? You were 27
and 27 and 33.
Yeah, and I think I was 28.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's
beautiful.
Pretty bloody good.
Good
that
work,
was
guys.
five more wins than you said, 4 more wins than I said. I'm happy with this, and coming into this year too, we were talking about, from a fan perspective, we wanted them to go 500. How nice it would be for them to go 500, and they went slightly above 500.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Blue Jays. Anything you do past this is just gravy.
Yeah.
But if you could win the World Series, that'd be great, because we have money down on it, and we would win a lot.
Absolutely. I would love to see them go, moving on, facing into Twins of the Yankees in a 5-game set. Ooh.
Yeah, well, dude, it's anything can happen, right? It's we were, our fantasy playoffs just happened, and this is playoffs for you. It's Adam basically spent his first 5 or 6 rounds or something draft picks next year, and then we both got taken out by a guy who barely bought in at all.
Picked up random guys who I'm who are you? Who? I didn't know half his lineup.
Literally, but he got the dub, and it's anything can happen. That underdog story. So this would be an underdog story that I would love if they could go a little bit deeper into the postseason.
Absolutely. Let's get it, Jays. Let's beat him in 3. Let's beat him in 3.
Guys, let us know what you think down in the comments down below about this series upcoming with the Tampa Bay Rays. Also, too, we're going to be going live, I believe, on our Instagram during the first 2 games at least. So please make sure to come and join us if you want to watch along with us and drink some beers with us and talk and do whatever. We're just going to be hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure to also subscribe, hit that notification button, and follow us on our podcast platforms, which are Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Radio Public, and Breaker. And also follow us on that Instagram page.
Thanks so much for watching, and most importantly,
go Jays, go!